Stop for just a moment, because this isn't just a video, it's an ancient doorway, a passage into one of the deepest, most sacred mysteries of human consciousness. A mystery that has endured for over 4,000 years. The Philosopher's Stone. You may have heard it whispered through myth. A stone that turns lead into gold, that grants immortality, that unlocks hidden power. But here's the truth. The Philosopher's Stone was never just about physical gold. It was a code, a spiritual symbol, a blueprint for inner transmutation. And once you understand what it really means, everything in your life will change. To uncover the true meaning of the Philosopher's Stone, we must travel back through time, beyond Hollywood, beyond fairy tales, beyond even modern science. We begin in ancient Egypt, where the sacred art of chemia was born. This is where the word alchemy has its roots. Chem was the name for the rich black soil of the Nile, symbolizing fertility, transformation, and life itself. But to the Egyptian priest scientists, alchemy wasn't just about mixing substances. It was about unlocking divine truth within matter. They believed the visible world was a reflection of the invisible. That gold, pure, untarnishable, symbolized spiritual perfection. To them, the great work wasn't simply chemical, it was cosmic. And it wasn't long before this sacred knowledge found a guardian, Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure, part Egyptian Thoth, part Greek Hermes. Hermes Trismegistus was said to be the author of the Emerald Tablet, one of the most powerful esoteric texts in existence. On it were engraved the words, As above, so below, As within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. These were not metaphors, they were laws, and the Philosopher's Stone was the key to living them. As Egypt faded and Rome rose, alchemy's torch was passed into the hands of the Islamic scholars of the Middle East. It was here, in the golden age of Baghdad, that a man named Jabir ibn Hayyan, known in the West as Geber, began to codify alchemical science. Jabir believed in more than just formulas. He taught that the path to transmutation required inner purity, that one must balance the four elements, earth, air, fire, water, not just in the laboratory, but inside the human soul. He introduced alchemical processes still studied today. Calcination, dissolution, sublimation, coagulation. But behind each was a spiritual meaning. To dissolve matter was to dissolve ego. To refine metal was to refine the self. For Jabir, the Philosopher's Stone wasn't merely material. It was the perfected consciousness, the divine spark, made stable in human form. As Europe emerged from the Dark Ages, the secrets of the East filtered in through Arabic translations, awakening a hunger in the minds of mystics, scholars, and visionaries. In the monasteries of Spain and France, the legacy of alchemy was reborn. Figures like Roger Bacon, Arnaldus of Villanova, and Raymond Lull began writing about the stone as a divine gift, a cosmic medicine, a secret path to illumination. Then came Paracelsus, a Swiss physician and rebel mystic who defied the academic world. He rejected the dry textbooks of his age. He wandered, he studied, he healed. And through it all, he insisted, true alchemy begins within. To him, the Philosopher's Stone wasn't just a legendary substance, it was a universal cure, a healer of body, mind, and soul. Paracelsus wrote that one who possessed the stone would become whole, not just biologically immortal, but spiritually awakened. Because immortality isn't simply living forever, it's living fully, in divine alignment. Then came the most mysterious alchemist of them all, Nicolas Flamel, a humble French scribe, not a king, not a scholar. And yet, legends say, he found the stone. They say he discovered a mysterious book written in sacred language and spent decades decoding its secrets. His writings speak of symbols, dreams, angels, and a moment of great revelation. According to the story, Flamel achieved the great work. He transmuted base metals into gold. He and his wife achieved longevity, possibly even immortality. Whether or not the stories are literal is beside the point, because encoded in these tales is a truth. The stone is not something to be owned, it's something to be become. Creating the Philosopher's Stone was never a single moment. It was a sacred journey, known as the Magnum Opus, the great work. This journey was divided into stages, and each stage mirrored not only laboratory procedure, but the awakening of the soul. Calcination, the fire that burns the false self. Dissolution, the melting of the old self. Separation, the sorting of truth from illusion. Conjunction, the sacred union of opposites. Fermentation, distillation, coagulation, each phase building upon the last until the soul is made whole. This is the true alchemy. Not turning lead into gold, but turning wound into wisdom, fear into clarity, shadow into light. And what's truly remarkable is that this wasn't unique to one part of the world. Across continents and cultures, the pattern repeats. In China, Taoist alchemists spoke of cultivating the golden elixir through breath, movement, and stillness. In India, the Rasa Shastra blended herbs, minerals, and mantras, not just for healing, but for elevation. In Kabbalah, sacred union restored divine balance. And in Christianity, the rejected stone became the cornerstone. The message was the same: you are the stone. So why was this hidden? Because a person who discovers they can transform from within is no longer a servant to fear. They do not obey blindly. They do not seek salvation outside themselves. They become free, and a free soul cannot be controlled. That is why this wisdom was encrypted, buried, ridiculed, because truth is dangerous to those who profit from forgetfulness. But now that you remember, what do you do with this knowledge? How do you take the blueprint of the stone and begin the great work? You begin with awareness. Every shadow, every fear, every old wound is your lead, and lead is the beginning. Next comes fire. Face your shadows. Let them rise. Don't run. Breathe into them. Let the fire purify. Then comes water. Write, reflect, let go of who you thought you were. Melt the false identities. Then separate. Keep what is true. Release what no longer serves you. Then comes union. The heart and mind, body and soul, masculine and feminine, must align. And finally, gratitude. Not just for the joy, but for the fire, for what broke you open, because that pain, that was the forge. The stone isn't out there, the stone is you. You are the alchemist, your life is the lab, and your soul is the work. If something ancient stirred within you today, if you felt something shift, then your great work has already begun. Let this be your invitation to remember who you are, to reclaim what was hidden, to become what you were born to be. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone ready to awaken. Because the Philosopher's Stone is not a myth, it's a living truth, and it has always been within you. Let the great work begin.